between the Viper and MarineLorD.
And again, 3 villages here on the hunting cabin. Viper really wants to get that 3rd scout out as quickly as possible. While we see, what is that? Okay, 1 hunting cabin here for MarineLorD. Quite a short distance for him. Already working on his first deer spot nice and early. Is Viper running? Oh, Viper's running directly into the left-hand side. He might snag one.
Oh, let's see what he can yoink here. I think he's aiming for... Like, it's maybe not even the deer. If he sees wolves, he'll pull them back first. But considering, like, the deer are here, like, he'll just take them, right? And then shift the back corner. And MarineLorD, he won't expect this. Like, he hasn't gone for his opponents either. I think his 2nd scout is in the north looking for the wolves. Now, if he got lucky and there's, like, 5 up there, it's worth it to trade out your own deer for this. But that's a big if, right? That's a big gamble. You never know where these wolves are going to be. It's what makes them such a pain in the ass. Like, you're not guaranteed for them to spawn in X, Y, or Z coordinates.
Yeah, it's pretty random. 5 wolves. Yeah, I've never thought of that, but feels like an even reasonable thing. You get 70 less, they get 70 more. Maybe you can still contest it a bit later as well.
It's like, it's worth it if you find them, right? It's kind of what that person says, if I win, this gamble was worth... Yeah, if you win, the gamble's worth a lot. But you need to... Like you're just there, putting all your money on 0. You're like, if I get 0, I'm gonna be rich.
Oh, God. You have no idea, right? I was a poker professional for, like, 10 years. And after I lost tournaments, they were like, why did you not stop? Like, why did you continue playing? And like, trying to explain them how results work.
The sunken cost fallacy, right? Where you're like, well, I'm in for this. I might as well keep going because if I'm in for 100K, I put 50K up. Like, you know, it's not as bad as like the 100K.
That's how we got to Golden League, right? Oh god,
yeah, exactly. If we put 100K into an event,
throw Golden League after it.
If we put 100K into an event and then we put 125K into the event, and like, well, it's not like we're doubling up, right? So we're fine. The economics still work out. It's fine. We're getting a Vegas land by the end of the year, guaranteed.
Nice.
Okay,
Winter
so
Series,
opening.
not enough.
Looks like wheelbarrow on both sides already to open this up. Interesting to see if either one of them goes for the wood upgrade. The broad axes, like, they're pretty good in leading into the wooden fortress if you're not going for the ball play. Speaking of ball plays, like, if one of them was going to do it, it would be MarineLorD. I don't expect Viper to, just because it's so far out. In fact, these balls feel like they're begging MarineLorD to come kill them, actually, when you look at where they've spawned. They're both closer to him.
MarineLorD? Okay, yeah, that's really nice for him. The question is, like, do you want to do it early feudal age? Do you want to pull the villagers? Viper not using his gold at... Oh, both going for wheelbarrow, by the way.
Yeah. Okay. So I said they both went for wheelbarrow, but the one I'm looking for is whether they both go for broad axe. So the wooden fortress gets dropped, and then usually, like, afterwards, you'll get the wood gathering upgrade. It's really efficient, because most civs, they get that 15% for a low cost, but because you're getting an extra 20% drop-off, the maths is slightly higher, right? I think I talked about this before, it's like 18%. Someone's going to hate on my maths there. It's 18% efficient instead of 15. Yeah. I know, right? Look at that.
No, I thought of that way. Okay.
I don't know why. Like, I've somehow become this guy that relies on a bunch of maths in my class, which is just not like me. I really can't be bothered to do math. I used to be a programmer, guys, but when I had a math problem, do you know what I done? Google the math problem, copy and paste, move on.
Nice. Oh, Viper now killing his own sheep to not let the villagers do the work, so they stay efficient at all times.
I don't remember the last time I saw someone do this, actually. Because, like, obviously you want to do it because the bounty, but like you said, it's the efficiency of the villagers, right? Like, you don't want to idle them at all. And that cane is quite a long strike. But here we go. Like I said, MarineLorD, the boars beckon him, and he will move out to slaughter the one closest to his base.
Is there a chance to not stay there and just... Okay, I will take the question back. No, he always puts the hunting cabin there. What a silly question.
I mean, there's a stealth forest right there. You can get a little bit of gold. What was your alternative? Did you want him to run back to base? Like, well, we killed it. Might as well just leave it here to rot in the streets. Bye. Hey, that 4 gold's going to add up. That's 20 gold after he's finished the ball.
Okay.
It's also a scouting point. I think people kind of underrate the vision on hunting cabins. They're decent. Like, I'm not even memeing. If you look at the vision, you'll see that they're actually reasonable for a dead structure on the spot.
Okay.
It's hard to see now because, like, the scouts are ruining my point because they're fighting around the hunting cabin.
Yeah, we have 3 scouts on the map. Viper tried to go for body block there. Actually finds the kill. Has to be happy with that. The question is, what are we transitioning in afterwards? And look at that. Viper already at 150 stone. The question is, though, he won't have enough gold, right? I think he mismanaged his gold income.
Ooh, yeah. I mean, he's got a banger of a number, but it's going to bang him out in his timing. Like, he's going to be very delayed. He's floating a lot of surplus wood. He'll trade now, but remember, the way this works, folks, is it's supplies. No. The trade is supplies, and he knows he's doing it as well. Oh, MarineLorD. Despite the fact he's the one who loses a scout, he puts his remaining ones to good use, and they're going to snitch on what Viper's up to. And
what?
This is dangerous.
Viper? Oh, what Viper just did here was that he used his golden gate, which he can only use once per minute, basically.
Yeah, to buy the gold.
To generate more gold for him. But that means he needs to wait another minute to buy stone. So that delays his town center, simply because he didn't have enough gold.
Yeah, and he didn't want to go on the gold,
I think
right?
It makes more sense to have an earlier hunting cabin, a second one, to generate the gold, than try to use the golden gate there.
For sure, but like I think he in the moment wasn't thinking about that. And also he started to panic a little when he saw the board play by MarineLorD. He understood that like his play onto board doesn't make sense anymore. So he has to go for second TC to compare economically. So now the goal for Viper is to survive incoming onslaught. But this incoming onslaught is very different. MarineLorD, seeing that he's gone for the hunting cabins, doesn't play into the standardized multi-archery range ramps. Instead, he realizes that knights can raid freely because he doesn't want to invest in wooden fortresses to protect these hunting cabins. And also, now the TC being spotted, these are weak points. Viper's being forced to set this up because of his gold limitation now. It's going to secure him the gold vein for the moment, but it makes his whole opening strategy now very obvious. And I'd say this TC becomes fairly exposed to what MarineLorD's going to do next.
What is he going to do next? He's going to go for some knights. Viper goes for knights as well. I think maybe one villager falls.
The timing!
Oh, he runs away. Really? Okay, that's
okay.
Nice.
So, how bad is this on a scale of 1 to 10? We already mentioned
well, knight
that he
in the
didn't
center,
trade.
maybe some counterattack. Where are Viper's knights?
Like he
Did
has
he really
one.
pull them back?
He
had one close to the board at the other side.
Well, he's not here now. And at least they're going to buff them away. Villager going to ride in, but the delay is already stinging him a little here. Yes, he will complete the TC, but MarineLorD probably has a little smile on his face again. It's the inefficiencies of play, and inefficiencies are what make the difference in a mirror matchup.
Ooh, okay, I didn't want to commit under the wooden fortress there. That's why he fell back. Feudal Age all-in by MarineLorD announced. Not to the Viper, but to the casters, the viewers, and Age of Empires fans around the world. Triple archer range, stable, barracks. He will not reach Castle Age this game.
He's bathing in blood right now, or he's about to be, because Viper isn't ready for this. Like, it's so pricey what he's done. The hunting cabin into the Wooden Fortress is really pricey. Like, I've talked about this before, like, the argument of pro scouts versus doing this. It depends on whether you control mid-map. If you're not controlling mid-map at all and you have to invest in these Wooden Fortresses, the efficiency of this choice is demoted, because you're paying 275 wood compared to pro scouts, which is 350, if I remember correctly. So you can see that it's actually not that much of a difference to just go for pro scouts and slowly gather up carcasses with 2 scouts.
Certainly an option, yeah. The question, though, gold management in the early game is the big thing. And now Viper goes for the farm upgrade, or for the food upgrade, for the wood upgrade. He needs to go for army. One stable knight is just going to die to what MarineLorD will put on the field. Viper has no idea. Where is he using his scouts?
Oh, he's in. He's found a knight in there, so that's going to delay the wood line a little. The intriguing detail about what MarineLorD's done here, though, is he's played a face value hand that Viper says can raid him but can't kill him. And because Viper hasn't maintained vision on the midfield of the map, he's going to get caught off guard by this build-up, and he sees it. This is important. This is the detail that was missing. If he didn't spot this, he wouldn't be able to prep in time. There might still be time, but he needs to work fast to get a defense force in place.
But what do you do? Like, what do you drop against this? 4 archery ranges?
Yes. Every archery range imaginable.
This is so tight. 15 military for MarineLorD. 4 for the Viper. 3 archery ranges won't be enough. He needs to catch up somehow.
Well, he has the home field as well, though. He has the home field, he has the defenses, so, like, it's not the end of the world for him. And what's going to be important is, like, as MarineLorD moves out of position, if he doesn't have enough knights, he won't have a buffer against the Knights of Viper. And that's the difference maker he's looking for. If he can get around the back and cut off reinforcements, MarineLorD's going to be in trouble. And that's the strength of this proxy base, by the way. It minimizes the walking distance, so there's less raid potential for cavalry compositions.
Viper knows what's coming. He knows exactly, okay, this is going to be an all-in from you with all those buildings. I just need to hold. I have double TC, you have 1 TC. You are trying to make something happen. You are forced to make something happen. I just need to hold. But he is a solid 19 military behind. Simply was so greedy, like he is in so many games. Eco upgrades, better for him as well.
Yeah, we talked about MarineLorD being Smeagol with his gathering last game, but Viper, like, if you talked about these two players, you'd see him as the golem, right? He's the precious. He wants all of the good stuff. He wants to drag it out later. And he should have seen this pressure coming. I think he knew it was happening, but it's the reaction of the generation. Good players react to what they see. And what he saw was that he couldn't make the ball strategy work. It was too far out. His opponent would always beat him if they ran at the same time. So instead, he falls back for the second TC. Now understanding the timings, he does have time to react to this, but this is sunken cost, right? That wooden fortress, 175 wood, going to go down. The hunting cabin, 100 wood, going to go down. That's a ram paying for itself, basically, already. And it means that MarineLorD is getting efficient value out of building into these rams early.
And no more 3 gold per minute out of that hunting cabin either. Another loss.
Gonna miss that. That was big. I mean, when you think about it, actually, that was, what, over about 10% of his efficient gold income? Now down to 22 per minute. That's a big loss, folks. Now bigger losses. Yeah, Archer's not exactly great against rams.
Well, 700 shots.
Do you feel like they should even do any damage? Like, surely you're just adding more wood to wood.
I'm not even sure if we have tactiles here. Oh, that's a big commitment. Viper's trying to hold military-wise. He's still 12 behind.
Oh, it's about to get a little bit worse for him. Because villagers are going to get sacrificed. The knights are in on top of the archers. 4, make that 5 of them. A lot of damage can be done here. Archers forcing away. Rams retreating. One's already going to be burnt down. The villagers committed to what they're doing. The wood they're carrying does not act as a shield, but it will also not slow them down as they chase in. Second ram will soon fall, but how many villagers have to fall alongside it? Viper might lose his economical lead at the end of this fight.
But he has the military lead, which is more important because he has the double town center, so he can get that lead again. What a crazy hold. All the villagers being in there. The knights did such a great job. And look at that. More spearmen are falling. Viper with a crazy defense.
And MarineLorD, he's panicking a little. He's trying to clean up what he can to make an efficient trade. Remember, he can't give too much ground. He built his base in the center. And because of the way the Viper is scaling, because you haven't put a big enough dent into his economy, he can actually quickly recover and get rams of his own and then make you swallow a big log of irony.
Oh, God. Viper. 3 villages ahead only, but a town center ahead. So he knows, okay, this is still good for me. You need to have a second wave here. A transition for you is just so risky. Viper now adds another stable. Knows, okay, that was not a lot of spearmen that you put on the field. Maybe I can have some efficiency with my knights there. And as you can see, MarineLorD forced into another all-in.
Yeah, MarineLorD doing the lost to time sacred dance of summoning siege as he'll build a ram in that stealth forest, but one is not gonna be good enough. And look at this Viper. We rarely see the farms, but he's trying to keep everything condensed. Doesn't want to leave himself exposed, doesn't want to give over easy trades to MarineLorD. Instead, he's gonna make him work and sweat for every little bit of it. As the line formation comes out to min-max his damage as he engaged, archer count is going to be in favor of Viper. MarineLorD has to retreat away.
Goes for the line formation, happy with the engagement. 3 spearmen should be sniped down, and that means the knights now should be really efficient. But knight number is not that scary, but still Viper has to be happy with this engagement.
And Viper's not done. The line formation, it's formation shuffling him quickly. He's gap closing, and it means MarineLorD, he's going to be forced to fight here. It means he cannot achieve the critical mass to dive. Even if Viper loses his army on even terms, he's better off because he's eco-booming. MarineLorD is the one on the clock, and he needs a way in soon. This trade is working out for him, but afterwards, will he be able to invest in more rams, and will he even be able to use the one he has currently, as it seems confused about which Roost player is its owner? Wait, Mom, Dad, stop fighting! Stop fighting!
No, it's not you that we are apart, and Ram is still crying regardless.
He's just gonna run and hide in the trees. It's like neither of them want me. But the archers, it's the difference, right? MarineLorD is still surrendering ground, slowly being pushed further into that forest. And that forest is a pain in the backside, as you can barely see what you're doing in there.
Archer defense still continues here for the Viper. Trading this one off evenly is relatively fine for him. Knight still around, trying to retreat.
And these Knights
so intense. It just feels like MarineLorD is on a timer.
But he's doing a good job keeping the pressure. Like, these straggler Knights are raiding, and they're shutting down the economy. This is critical. Right now, MarineLorD is trying to outmass his opponent. Every time he pulls the wood line back and Viper garrisons them for like 10, 20 seconds, that's lost economy. That's less archers you're producing per minute compared to MarineLorD, because your economies are still comparative at this stage in the game.
Viper only had in the farm upgrade, obviously, reasonably.
Knock.
Who's there?
Big boy Ram. Would you like to
Ram
play?
who?
Oh, no, ignore that. Not so big anymore. It's like, yay, mommy and daddy like me again. It's like that little terrible child that tries to break everything in your house right now. Oh, chase in. I think the archer count is building higher for Viper now.
Shorter reinforcement line helps. Archer range count should be relatively similar. It should be at 3 here. Archers focusing down. Villagers being pulled again. Could be a repeat of the story. Ram is getting pushed away.
Yeah, it's just back and forth. Like, it looks like we should be talking about the action non-stop, but really, like, this is just a back and forth. I'll cut you, you cut me. And like afterwards, like, ow, you hurt me. Should we go to the nurses and then resume this after we've both got bandages? Yeah, okay.
It feels like MarineLorD spearmen are not achieving anything right now. If you have 30 archers on the field for both of them, adding in 5 spearmen, like they can't really participate in the fight.
Do you know what's an underrated play that I just don't see players do? Park those spears inside the ram. And then...
Why?
Because it's like Trojan horse, right? Everyone comes nearby, they're like, haha, kill the ram, and then you just pull out spears. And you stab everything in range. It's better than running across an open field and being peppered by arrows, right? Like, if I gave you the choice to hide underneath a giant ram or run forward naked screaming, which would you choose?
Well, I'm a weird human being, but...
You do like the breeze,
on this one, because Rams are being pushed away again. Viper should lose some villagers again. Some Knights still being mixed in. I think this is the moment where we could maybe add some horsemen, indeed, now being thrown into the mix as well.
Speaking of running naked across the field, is the horsemen now. More efficient than the knights, so they get the bonus damage up against the archers. But they do need that critical mass to close. The cool thing about this is because he has so many archers, they're just a distraction. MarineLorD has to deal with them because it's efficient to kill them off first because they get bonus damage. Which means that Viper's getting more turns to gap close and stick on top of you. And it means that when we look at the archer count right now, Viper has the lead on the home field, and it means that MarineLorD is going to start forfeiting ground. Ground he cannot forfeit because he's invested so hard into these rams.
Those Knights are getting so many kills. Viper actually behind in villagers, although he's playing 2 TC against 1 TC. Archers, though, as you mentioned, looking pretty good there with the defense. Viper, look at how low those villagers are as well. If we see another 2 Knights are coming in, they should find massive amount of kills.
And it feels like these trades, like MarineLorD is doing a good job of keeping the pressure up, but the economy is slowly scaling on both sides, right? Like, you can see it's keeping neck and neck. The concern I have is Viper. Some people are like, oh, but Viper's surviving the hard times. He's getting past the bad. He's going to be booming soon. Sure. Let's imagine a dream world where that happens, and not a dream like a nightmare world where he's drained all of his initial resources and now he has to move out on the map. Move out on the map where MarineLorD is freely just gathering everything because there's no pressure anywhere but in Viper's base.
We should probably compare farm counts. It feels like Viper already forced onto like 15 farms, and we feel like MarineLorD could potentially be at like 3, 4 at home. Not really forced into that much because he could get all those deer.
Yeah, because he's moving out. Like
you
can see all the pocket economies, right? Like you can see on the mini-map. Like he's spread out so wide because Viper doesn't have a raid force. He's only building out of one stable, and those stable units instantly fight. So instead, MarineLorD's like, okay, everything on the map belongs to me. C'est la vie. I'll take it all. The Rams again. Heavy damage starting to be done here. Going to force out the villagers. And it looks like Viper, he needs to find a way of like accelerating his archer line, because I don't think it's good enough to keep trading for the reason I just mentioned. Like in the next 3 minutes, you're going to drain your initial area dry. And that's where MarineLorD will have a clear edge, because your economy becomes less efficient when it has to move to these new locations further away from your town centers where you're producing the new villages.
7 Knights in the queue. How many stables does MarineLorD have? That could be close to Castle Age. 8 archer ranges as well. MarineLorD?
He's paranoid,
Is he playing
though.
with one stable?
Two,
Okay,
I
has a
think.
second stable at home.
Yeah.
But still, like, 6... Just a second ago was 8 stables, 8 knights in the queue.
I think the logic here, if we think about it from MarineLorD's perspective, he's not winning these fights. He's being drawn into them, and he has to keep going with them now that he's invested. If he ever slows down to tech up, Viper is going to reach a critical mass of archers to run through. And then your whole central base is exposed, and you don't even get to use it in Castle Age. So it's kind of one of those situations where your opponent has tied your hands. And it looks like those raids are not going to be successful anymore, because the difference this time around is that the Viper can respond due to the fact you're not attacking the center of his base anymore.
Yeah, no more ramps. I still would like to see a repair on that town center. How many HP is it sitting? Looks like 20% or something?
I think, it is below the half mark,
Was I confused? Or was the villager at 20%, right?
Really
No,
low.
okay.
771. So just 4 ram hits for those that want the simple maths for it.
Viper floating an unnecessary amount of stone here, we have to think.
Oh, no. He can trade. There we go. I was about to say he can trade for it because he's been stockpiling supplies. So instantly just turns it into gold. He's an alchemist.
Oh, that's how it works.
Yeah. you
why
just tell
didn't
the
you do
magical
that?
fairies that you want something else, and they give you good trades because they're easy to scam.
Why didn't you do that with wood? With 38% faster income.
Because I hadn't forgotten I had a bunch of people still in stone this whole time.
Okay. Okay, next attack coming towards the second town center there. More houses being built by Viper in the end, but well, repeat of the story. Viper now the big repair. Where are all his cavalry? I think Viper's counter-attacking somewhere?
I hope he is.
He should have 5 knights, and I only see 2 here.
They're not raiding, though. They're not attacking anywhere. So they're just AFK at the back of the base. There they are. They're finally moving across. But the Ram's doing a lot of work here. He's going to react soon. And his archers are picking apart those villages. So Viper needs to be careful because right now MarineLorD at the glorious 69 and Viper, despite the fact he's been on 2 TCs, is hemorrhaging now down at 64 eco units.
It's so weird here. Okay, now knights coming in. Way better numbers here for MarineLorD. 12 knights against 4.
He surrounded him. He's going to move in now, and that's going to gap close on the archers. You have to turn and burn, and you're going to lose so many in the process. And this time, the Ram, little Rammy boy over there, might finally get his value. It's taken a long time, but finally, the Rams are going to pay dividends because there's no way you can invest to defend this. Villagers pull out. They try to go onto the Ram now. Repair crew comes forward to keep it alive, though, and archers making sure that this fight is going the way of MarineLorD. The knights slowly being cleaned up, but the count of archers reigns supreme for the Frenchman.
Oh god, and now no more buffer in front of the army. Viper's getting pushed back. We'll lose that town center as well. No golden come at the front. And this looks like 15 military against 50. MarineLorD forces game number 3.
I don't know about that yet. It doesn't feel like Viper wants to give up because he killed the Ram. But yeah, it feels like we're heading that way. It has to be at this situation because MarineLorD, he's starting to dominate. You can't replace your military quick enough, and now he has all these archers in your military line. So as the units come out, they instantly go down. And now the farms, he spotted them. Knights are going to ride in. It's Slayboy time, and there's so much open ground to chase down the peasantry here. If MarineLorD didn't already have the eco lead, he most definitely would at the end of this. Oh my god, have mercy.
Look at the low HP villagers.
Have mercy. And he will crawl for mercy as the GG will be called and we will need a game 3.
Inseparable in 2 games, those two. We will go for a decider. What a crazy game. Viper bigger eco approach, crazy hold there at one point, but it just felt like MarineLorD's raids behind the scenes found so many villager kills. It wasn't even the Ram attacks. It felt like Viper got out of those with reasonable losses, but look at that. Like so many dings into his villager count.
Yeah, I mean, we've heard of Raynor's Raiders, but this was MarineLorD's Raynor's, right? Like, this was so efficient the way he used them. They lasted so long, and the issue is that Viper can never afford to pull troops back to get rid of them. And kind of funnily enough, similar to the last game where it ended in a Viper win despite the issue of it, walling is once again not there. So he has no padded protection against this raiding. And also, he builds all these knights, but he's never able to use them to the same degree, right? That's the awkward issue. If you're forced in a mirror-mirror matchup to do the same thing as your opponent, but you're not playing to the secondary leverage that it has, which is they can dive and raid, then you shouldn't really be building them. It's kind of one of those situations where Viper, he would like to be able to build spears, but he can't because MarineLorD is just bodying his face with non-stop archers, and it's just easy trades. So really, this is more credit to MarineLorD than a mistake by Viper. He just played him like a fiddle. He exploited the value of that central board to set up a forward base, and it meant that even with a static force of archers being heavily relied upon, they arrived quick enough on the front that it didn't matter that Viper had the defensive advantage to reproduce units, because